We're going to continue solving equations, but when you look at this equation, you will notice something new about it, which is that it now has a variable on both sides of the equation. We've got a k on the left side of our equal sign, and we've got a k on the right side of the equal sign. Our goal for solving this equation is the same as it is for solving any equation, which is that we want to get the variable isolated on one side and the number, the constant, on the other side. So our goal, whenever we have a variable on both sides, step number one is to get the variables on the same side. It doesn't matter which side it is, left or right, we just need them all on one side. And so before we start doing anything else with this equation, that's what we want to do, get the variables on the same side. There are two ways we can accomplish this with this problem, and I'm going to rewrite this a little bigger. So 2 plus 5k equals 3k minus 6 is our equation, and so we can either move the 5k to the other side by subtracting 5k on both sides. This is the subtraction property of equality. If we subtract 5k on both sides, that will remove those 5k's. We'll have 0k on the left side, and all of our k's will be located here on the right. So that's one way we can do it. The other way we can do it is the way that we actually are going to do it, and that is by subtracting 3k on both sides. Now you will get the correct answer whether you subtract 5k or subtract 3k, but remember when we solve equations, we're always looking for what is the easiest possible way to solve an equation. And so by subtracting 3k instead of 5k, we make things very slightly easier for ourselves because we make sure that our k is going to be positive. Here, our k's go away because 3k minus 3k is 0. And over on the other side, we end up with 2k, and it's a positive 2k. Had we subtracted 5k on both sides, it would have been fine. We still would have gotten the correct answer, but we would have had to deal with a negative 2k. Nothing wrong with dealing with negatives. Negatives are fine, but if we can avoid negatives and deal with positives instead, it does make the problem slightly easier. So this was the subtraction property of equality we used that allows us to subtract 3k on both sides of this equation. So now what are we going to do next? Well, we can either subtract 2 on both sides to get rid of that 2, or we can divide everything by 2 to get rid of that 2. Either one of those would be acceptable for us, but in general, it's easier to get rid of the addition and subtraction first. In this particular problem, it doesn't matter because everything is divisible by 2, but we're going to stick to our usual habits and get rid of the addition and subtraction first. So we're going to use the subtraction property of equality again. 2 minus 2, of course, is 0. And so we'll have 2k left on our left side of the equation. And on the right side, we will have negative 6 minus 2, which is negative 8. And again, we are using the subtraction property of equality. Now there's only one step left for us to do. We have 2k, and we want just k. This is 2 multiplied by k, so we're going to divide by 2, because 2k divided by 2 is k, and 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. So I believe the answer is negative 4 because of the division property of equality. And I feel pretty confident in my answer, but I'm going to go ahead and check my answer anyway. It's very easy to check the answer, it just takes an extra minute to check our solution, so let's go ahead and do it. And here's how we check our answer. We take our original equation, which was 2 plus 5k equals 3k minus 6. And then we take what we think the answer is. We think the answer is k equals negative 4. So we're going to rewrite our equation, but just substitute negative 4 in place of all of these k's. So we'll do 2 plus, and instead of 5 times k, we'll do 5 times negative 4. Equals, and then instead of 3 times k, we'll do 3 times negative 4. And now we're just going to solve these. If I had a calculator, I could just plug the entire left side into the calculator at once. Or we can do it piece by piece. 5 times negative 4 is going to give us negative 20. So we've got 2 minus 20, or 2 plus negative 20, however you prefer. And on the other side, we've got 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. So negative 12 minus 6. So 2 plus negative 20 is negative 18. And negative 12 minus 6 is also negative 18. So is negative 18 equal to negative 18? Yes, of course it is. And that means we have successfully checked our answer, because substituting our answer into the original equation gives us the left and right sides being equal to one another. That is what tells us our solution is correct.